Morning fellas, Ben back again with Ben. And yes, as you guys can see, something sticking out. Quite obvious, ain't it? Yeah, so this thing has been in my mind for a really long time. I've seen a lot of fellas in the West who run these extensions to safeguard their linkage systems. And these are made of high density plastic, HDPE. So very, very high quality plastic, very thick, very, very dense, very strong structural integrity. And then that mounted onto my SW Motec bash plate. The SW Motec bash plate ends here, right about there, and then so much of it is exposed. So I mean, this acts this doubles up as a slush guard as well to safeguard this entire portion. You will not have slush hitting that much now. High density polypropylene, the funniest thing is you don't have to really go and hunt HDPE. You just need to look for cutting boards, vegetable cutting boards. And vegetable cutting boards, a little expensive one, the most expensive one that you can get them. So I cut this out of, I've been working on it since morning. I cut it out of let me just get it for you. I cut it out of a cutting board, a small size. Pretty expensive. This was about 400 bucks, 400 rupees in India. So quite expensive for a cutting board like that. And so that's the minimum guarantee that I had. So just saying, get something which is a little expensive, not the cheapest one in the market. And then to cut this, you need some skill. I used my saw, my hacksaw, and I cut this in a straight line. But then if you're not good at cutting straight line, take it to a machinist or take it to a plywood person, and he'll just do it instantly for you. They have these machines that can cut it in a straight line, and you'll get your piece. So the size of this is not going to help you, is because my bash plate is different. You will not have this in your motorcycles. You'll have to determine what size you want. To some extent I can help. This is a 4.5 inch plate, the width of it, and the length of it would be, I'm guessing, the length is roughly 7 inches. So that would be 7 inches by 4.5 inches. If that helps in any way, let it help. Those two holes that I've drilled. If you have the SW Motec crash guard, then the gap between the holes is 6.5 centimeters. And you'll have to strategically drill these holes so that you don't weaken this structure, the stock bash plate, and you also don't, you have enough gap from the hole to the edge of the plastic panel or piece, so that even this is a solid structure. The advantage of this is this bloody thing, anything on this, a hit on this, it'll just glide. It won't stick, unlike how metal sticks. In fact, I could go on to extend it till here, so that my motorcycle just glides through rocks and doesn't get stuck. Anytime and every time I've done rock, the biggest problem is when you try doing these big rocks, these boulder rocks, the bash plate kind of just gets stuck to the rocks. It doesn't move freely. And this thing is like a dream. If you know, you know. It just anything. Like, just look at that. Look at that. Look at the stiction. Look at that. I just can't hold this. And it's a file. I can't run a file on that. That should explain enough. Drag. There's no drag created by metal when you use high density polypropylene. That's one. Two, this particular case acts like a linkage guard, nothing else but that. So 7 inch by 4.5 inches. These holes are oval holes in them. This is about, I guess this is a 5 millimeter bolt, or 4 millimeter, and the holes are oval, drilled oval, not circle, so that there's again I allow for shock to not damage the structure in any which way. There's a little bit of movement, and then these are tapered head, I guess 4 millimeter Allen keys or Allen bolts, and self-locking nuts on the other side, 10 millimeter, with a washer. So that's the whole of it. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But there is a little bit of engineering here to understand how far should this be from the edge, so that this doesn't weaken the metal or the plastic. That is for you to figure out. 6.5 centimeters if you run the SW Motec crash guard in between the holes. And what else? That's about it. And the length is just enough to let me scrape the plastic bit and not the metal. And I don't think I need to extend it this far. That's more than enough. Motorcycle is in the forward motion, and that should do it. And the longer this gets, the weaker this joint becomes. So just the right amount always helps. Let's hope when I put this to the test, it can take on the beating. Let's just hope that this turns out to be a very good addition to the motorcycle in terms of protection. A simple, straightforward mod. A lot of work, not easy. Anything that looks easy sometimes turns out to be extremely difficult. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, this would be a 3. If you are a DIY guy, this would be a 3. But then you need to be a DIY guy to understand how much is how good, with the measurements and the holes and the right bolt and everything. Even the holes on this, I've chamfered them just like you see here. Just a little bit of chamfering on the metal, so that again that also allows for a little bit of impact dissipation. If this helped in any which way, it helped. Ben signing out for now. Ciao.